In a small, close-knit neighborhood, the residents decided to create a shared community garden. They all agreed it was a wonderful idea. Leading the effort was a kind man named David. He suggested a core principle. Let's ensure everyone always puts the needs of their neighbors first. If you harvest, think of who might need it more before taking for yourself. This way, we build true community. Everyone, folks like Emily, Chris, and Laura, eagerly agreed. The garden flourished under their combined care. When the first vegetables ripened, people would pick them and then thoughtfully offer the best portions to others. If Emily knew Chris was feeling unwell, she'd give him her share of tomatoes. If Chris saw Laura working hard, he'd pass on the freshest beans to her. They all felt a deep satisfaction in this constant giving. The neighborhood was full of warmth and shared purpose. Then, a period of unusually poor weather hit. The yield from the garden was much smaller than expected. The principle of others first became even more critical in their minds. David reminded them, now more than ever, we must be selfless. So, when Emily harvested a few potatoes, she thought of how little Chris probably had and gave him almost all of them, keeping only one tiny one for herself, telling herself she wasn't that hungry. Chris, receiving them, felt he couldn't possibly keep so many when Laura was looking tired, so he passed most of them to her, taking just a sliver. Laura, in turn, worried about David, who was working so hard to organize, and gave the majority to him. David, seeing the meager portions everyone else had, felt compelled to redistribute what he received, ensuring he himself took the absolute bare minimum. This cycle continued with every small harvest. Each person, in an earnest attempt to be completely unselfish, consistently underestimated their own body's needs. They'd feel a pang of hunger, then feel guilty for that selfish pang and give away a little more. They prided themselves on their sacrifice. Slowly, a visible change came over them. They grew thinner, their movements became more sluggish. Their smiles, though still kind, seemed fainter. Emily found it hard to weed the garden with the same energy. Chris would often sit down, feeling a profound weariness he wouldn't voice. Laura's cheerful chatter faded. They were all constantly thinking of others, but no one was adequately taking care of their own fundamental needs. They were starving, not from a total lack of food, but from a relentless, well-intentioned practice of self-deprivation in the name of prioritizing everyone else. One by one, they became too weak to work, too weak to even properly care for each other, their bodies quietly failing under the strain of noble, persistent neglect. The once thriving garden became overgrown as its caretakers faded away. The lesson, stark and chilling as the untended soil, became clear. Denying your own essential needs in the name of absolute selflessness doesn't build a stronger community. It quietly dismantles it from within. A healthy measure of selfishness, the fundamental drive to ensure your own well-being, is not a vice, but the necessary foundation. Without it, individuals wither, and the capacity for any true, sustainable care for others dies with them. Thank you for watching this cheerless tale. We know these stories are dark and their lessons can be harsh. We appreciate you facing these unsettling truths with us. If this kind of storytelling speaks to you, if you sense that old fairy tales often hide darker realities, then there's more for you here on Cheerless Tales. Our channel explores grim, unvarnished fairy tales. We uncover the brutal lessons they were truly meant to impart. These stories show what happens to the naive when they confront harsh social truths, stark warnings for us all. If you can handle these cheerless truths and want to see the world, even its shadows, more clearly, then this channel is for you. Please subscribe to Cheerless Tales. More unsettling stories and their brutal lessons are waiting. Hit subscribe and the bell so you don't miss our next descent into the gloom. Until next time, stay wary.